Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome, everybody, to the latest edition of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, along with G. Bush and Jason Lloyd. I'm Adam the Bull. We've got Mike, Steve, and Anthony behind the glass. We've got 89 minutes here remaining on YouTube, and then 30 minutes, well, technically 29 minutes, on WKYC Channel 3. Before we get into anything else, let's go to Mike with our sponsor of the day.
Yeah, our show today is sponsored by the Cleveland Monsters. They're the best entertainment in the land. Great promotions, affordable tickets. Cleveland Monsters hockey is the perfect outing for any family with recurring games like 1, 2, 3 Fridays, family days, Blue Jacket games, and giveaway nights. There's something for everybody at Rocket Arena when the goal horn sounds.
All right, guys.
Hang on.
Yeah, wait,
I just realized when they showed the wide shot, I'm on the end. I thought you wanted your fit. I wanted the fit check on the end.
Well, nah. See, I got this Polar Express, man. This is big enough where it take up this is actually costume drip. This is shout out to Fashion Week. So this is my this is my alien throwback. This is like a winterized Prometheus outfit.
So you can sit in the middle with that?
Yeah, I'm like a space jockey.
I'd be sweating like a fat kid if I wore that for 2
Hey,
hours.
and by the way, this leather right here. This a leather. It's a leather hoodie. So you know what I'm saying.
God.
You see, it's
So you
leather.
got the jacket, the leather hoodie.
You're going to lose 7 pounds.
The leather hoodie. You know what I'm saying, and it's the accent pieces. It's swirled up. It's like, you know what I'm saying. It's cool, but if you just don't move too much. You see what I'm saying. It's cold enough outside where I'm still cold from pumping gas earlier, so we good.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I like this jacket, man. It was in the back of the closet. I said, hold on.
Bust this one out.
They said you can't wear white after Labor Day. Psych.
I can't wear white after Labor Day.
No,
If you came to the crib with this outfit on, what would your people say?
Oh, they would
be
fall
awesome.
on the floor laughing hysterically.
Yeah, that would be
Try to
funny.
pull that off.
That'd be crazy.
that would be.
They would, hey, listen, yeah, man, this is something I just picked up on the way home from the store.
One of these days, you and I should trade clothes.
No, one of these days, this is about to be the best episode ever.
I'll come in wearing your stuff. You come in wearing mine.
We got to go shopping for it, and then you guys got to dress like I got to.
You got to dress like a white person.
Yeah, I could dress like a white person. Then I'm gonna take you to the spot and get you dripped up. But you got to wear it. You got to try it on first and come out of the back and let people see what it looked like in the changing room.
Did you know in high school I used to dress like a black person?
Really?
I did. Yeah.
I
had the suspenders with one strap down. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let me find out that you was in Color Me Bad. What? Let me find out if you was in. Listen. Oh
Jason
my!
thought he was cool.
I had the suspenders with the strap down. Yep.
Jason, you had
the
a
Z
pager.
Cavaricci shirts.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. Hypercolor. All
you learn
that.
something new every day, huh?
You might have dated the only black girl in your district. Her name was like Regina or something.
I dated a couple Latins. Does that count?
No, it does not.
It's close. It's close. Back then, brown and black thing.
I went on a couple dates in college with a couple black girls.
That is how did that listen.
We are really learning a lot about
those
Jason.
are the stories I want to know about. I don't care nothing
Yeah.
about basketball and Cavs. I want to know about them stories.
Yeah.
When Jason retires and does his tell-all
Yeah.
pay-per-view event at Hilarities.
Yeah,
that'll
that's
be
right.
part of the rundown.
All
But
the
guys, we got a
LeBron
little bit of
stories.
breaking news this morning, so let's dive right into it.
Yeah.
Our first topic of the day is brought to us by the Lake Erie Monsters because they're back for one weekend. Tonight and tomorrow at Rocket Arena. It starts with a 1, 2, 3 Friday and a Battle Together t-shirt giveaway courtesy of True North convenience stores for the first 5,000 fans. Then on Saturday, the first 8,000 receive a Zach Wierenski bobblehead courtesy of the Cleveland Museum of Natural History. Enjoy returning players, themed jerseys, Calder Cup photo opportunities, and more in the step back in time to 2016. Tickets are on sale right now at clevelandmonsters.com. All right, guys, we were going to start with an article Jason wrote this morning and kind of the premise of that, but we got a little bit of breaking news, and that is that the Browns have identified and may be close to hiring Todd Switzer, the Akron College graduate, as their new offensive coordinator. Jeremy Fowler was the first to put this out there. He said Ravens run game coordinator Travis Switzer considered the front runner for the Browns OC's job. Per sources, he's set to interview with the team soon. The idea is to pair Todd Monken's passing game with Switzer's run principles from Baltimore. Aaron Wilson, another newsbreaker in the NFL, then tweeted out a few minutes later that the Browns are expected to hire Switzer. They worked together the last 3 seasons in Baltimore. Jason, what do you think, real quick, of this potential pairing of Todd Monken and Travis Switzer as the Browns head coach OC combo?
I actually think that it falls right in line with what I said last week, that if you want Shedeur to be your starting quarterback, then you're going to have to incorporate a lot of RPO, because this is falling right into that. It's what they did with Lamar last year in Baltimore the last couple of years. And Todd Monken has a lot of different experience, running a lot of different systems. But if you pair these two guys together, I think you can incorporate a lot of what Baltimore has done the last couple of years and try and set Shedeur up for success and put him in spots where he can thrive. If that's the route they go. I don't think we're at that point yet.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, this is the personnel we have to work with right now.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, how do we comment on this? We've never even heard of this guy. Had anybody heard of this guy?
Yeah, I'd heard of him.
You'd heard of him?
Yeah. I mean, I can't sit here and tell you I know everything there is to know.
I mean, it is what he worked with. They have a relationship, so it makes sense. You know, he's going to probably
2 Baltimore
Monken's
guys.
probably going to call the plays, I would assume.
Oh, for sure.
So the offensive coordinator obviously is a guy has worked under him before. Makes a lot of sense. They weren't going to go hire somebody from outside of the organization or like somebody that he didn't know. He's been around the league forever. He's going to hire some guy he knew. You knew it wasn't going to be a big name. It might be a bigger name on defense if Jim Schwartz ends up not coming back, you know, because he's not going to have his hand in the defense the same way. But, it seems like a perfectly fine hire. But how can I go crazy one way or the other? I've never heard of the guy.
I mean, they just getting it lined up.
Yeah.
They just lining it up where, you know, the thing when you got new coaches is are you able to bring in somebody that already knows your system a little bit? Just go back and look at what Kevin Stefanski did with Tommy Rees. Like, if you need to explain something to a bunch of new people, do you want to have to explain that to a new coordinator that doesn't understand too? So he learning on the job. So at least there's some symmetry in terms of the offensive line coach as well as the coordinator, all coming from this stuff that they were familiar with last year.
I would think, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe like they keep a couple of the Brown, like what's his name? Who's the running backs coach?
Deuce Staley.
Like maybe he stays. You know, who knows? But like the one thing about Todd Monken, like him or not, he's been around the league forever. He's got a lot of connections. You know, so he's probably got a good Rolodex of people, and he's been the OC in Baltimore for what, 3 years?
23, 24, and 25.
Yeah, so 3 years. So like a lot of the guys that worked under him are probably I wouldn't be surprised if that's the last.
They're either going with him or they're going to New York with John Harbaugh.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, it makes sense. It is interesting. The Browns put out a video that did confirm now. I know it's been talked about as a short thing, and now we know it is, that the Ravens were going to draft.
Oh, yeah. That was.
I didn't know that was a sure thing.
It was, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Because it is a video where Shedeur went to meet Todd Monken today, and in this video the Browns put out, Shedeur walks in, they hug, they shake hands, and Todd Monken goes, "We wanted to draft you last year."
Yeah.
He was kind of like busting his chops a little bit, like, you know,
like, hey,
and Shedeur's laughing, like, yeah. He goes like, "We'll have to talk about that someday."
He's like, I guess it worked out after all.
That was
funny.
That was actually very savvy PR by the Browns to put.
It was,
because that's the type of stuff they should have been doing last year.
100%.
And I think they've learned from their mistakes.
Yeah.
There you go. See, now look, that again, y'all might like look like y'all got some PR people involved. Now, just because you said that don't mean like, okay, he's about to be the greatest. Like, but what it does, it silences and gives you some room to work. You don't. So now people don't have to be like, oh, I don't know if the coach really like him or not, or I don't know if the coach thinks he's great or not. Now it's just like, okay, we'll wait and see, because, you know.
Right. It doesn't mean that Shedeur's definitely a starter next year, but it starts you off at a place where, the fans know at least this. They were that this coach is interested in him.
Like at least they have some sort
interest.
of.
Yeah.
So do you think Shedeur ever walked into Kevin's office and dapped him up? Ever?
Yes.
No.
Of course. Yes.
Yes.
Of course
Never.
he did. Yeah.
Yes.
Never.
Yes.
He hated his guts.
But that's what I'm saying. Look at how one video.
Yes.
One video.
Yeah.
Can change the entire
right.
narrative.
Boom.
Especially because fans already were connecting the dots and thought Monken liked him to begin with. So this just, you know, reiterates the fact that
now
he
here's
is.
what they do.
Yeah.
The next video you put out,
Yeah.
you walk Deshaun Watson in there. Deshaun Watson gets him
Let's
down.
not get crazy.
Deshaun's in Italy. his wife put out a. Did you see that?
No.
They put out a whatever.
Yeah.
And she said they needed a second car to fit all the luggage.
Ugh, could you be more obnoxious?
Shout out to.
Speaking of which,
shout out to Florida.
some D-bag. Can I say D-bag? I already
just
said
did.
it. People that drive the people that buy fancy cars and live in this part of the country, generally they are. Let's be honest about it. Didn't you have a BMW? No? What'd you have? I can't remember.
Hey, bro, he's hired.
Just give me a
He's
different
hired
thing.
in that, man.
What are you
Anyway,
trying to say?
Somebody
hired in that, bro.
I had to go. We had a meeting with some of the teachers from my son's school today, and there was no spots because for whatever reason. But I saw this one car, this BMW, fancy BMW, and it was taking up 2 spots on purpose.
I've never done that.
And it's like, these people with these fancy cars, they're so obnoxious.
Yes.
Nobody touched my car. You're living in Cleveland. It's rain, it's snow, it's bad weather. Like,
So you're not allowed
get
to
over
drive,
yourself.
You're not allowed to drive a fancy car.
Usually people that drive cars like that are D-bags. So let's face it, there's a high percentage.
Am I a D-bag?
No, you're not, but most
A lot of people
are.
disagree with you.
Now that's up for debate if you go on the internet. But no,
What,
like,
about Jason?
But why would you disrespect that man like that?
I didn't. Jason's not a D-bag.
No,
but most
I'm
people
saying
that drive that type of car
I'm
are.
saying you said that's a fair BMW. That was his old BMW. Is his high school
I've never
car.
driven a BMW.
Jason rolling better than that.
What did you have? I forgot.
It's in the garage.
Oh, you don't want to say.
He's trying to play you
my
off.
bad.
Stop
Sorry.
trying to
He's
extract
trying-
information. Clearly.
He's
We'll
trying to
move
play
on.
you off, dog.
That's a bad job out of me.
There is no way I can say it and not sound like a D-bag.
Right.
I was out
Jason,
to lunch
you're
on
doing
that
this
one.
right. You're
Hey,
I was
hey,
out to lunch.
ain't no. Hey, listen. Hey, live. Hey,
Let's keep it moving.
That's low for McNuggets. You should. You
Yeah.
know what McNuggets is cooking up? He showed me the pictures and everything.
Yeah.
McNuggets about to eat.
Getting a BMW?
Man,
My old Nissan Altima is definitely.
If you take up 2 cars in a parking lot on purpose, you're a bad person.
I agree with that.
You are 100%
I
a bad
agree.
person.
Now,
Yeah.
I will, in defense, the only time it's acceptable,
Never. But go ahead.
weather like this,
Yeah.
where snow is covering the lines and you don't know where you're
That's not
parking,
doing it on purpose.
facts. Yep.
where you don't know where you're
I'm
parking.
saying if you do it on purpose.
I agree with that.
Yes, then
If
you're
you
a bad
do it on
person.
purpose, you're
Yeah.
a bad person.
Yes.
If it's snow covered and you
Yeah,
can't
you
see
can't.
the
Sometimes
lines,
you can't tell. You're right.
We'll do some homework this weekend, dive into some of Switzer's offensive philosophies. We'll be a little more well-informed and
Yeah.
versed on him come Monday, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Guys, if you can't make the Monsters game tonight, the Cleveland Charge are also home at Public Arena. Make sure you head over to Public Arena, check out the Cleveland Charge taking on the Memphis Hustle. I'll be there tonight, so if you see me, come say what's up. Cleveland Charge, Memphis Hustle, 7:30.
I'd like to see Mike wearing that outfit, riding a horse at the game. I think that needs to happen before the
Yeah,
end of the
it's not
season.
not going to happen, but
Should.
maybe.
All right.
All right, Jason, you wrote an article this morning, and we had talked in the days since Todd Monken was hired. You have not been on the show since Todd Monken's been named the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. That although the search process may have been less than ideal, it's not Todd Monken's fault, and they may have ended up with a pretty darn good head coach in their own right. Do you want to explain what you wrote this morning and why you feel that way?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I'm not going to say anything you guys probably haven't said 100 times all week. I haven't been able to watch many of the episodes, but really, I don't think Todd Monken's a bad coach. I'm not going to bash the hire. I think the way that we got there was totally insane.
Yeah.
But I've had people reach out and say they probably got the best football coach of the 3 finalists. Like right now, today, they probably got the best football coach.
Right.
So I'm not going to knock the hire. He's got a ton of experience. Is it a home run hire? No. Is it a sexy hire? Are they going to win the press conference with that? Probably not. But the Browns have won a lot of press conferences and lost a lot of games. So
I don't know that there was a home run hire.
Well, Shieldhouse would have been the sexy name.
Yeah, but But we don't know that's a home.
Of course not.
Yeah.
But that would have been, and that's why, like, I was trying to reserve judgment on this whole thing. Like, I didn't knock him at all throughout this because I thought, no matter how goofy it looks, if they wind up with Nate Shieldhouse, then it's probably, they follow the process and they're going the young analytics route, the Andrew Berry. Like, that is an Andrew Berry guy, is Nate Shieldhouse. Grant Udinski, another name. Those are the guys. That's the trend in the NFL, although it is kind of interesting to me that we're seeing like the McCarthys and the Monkens of this cycle and some older guys come back. So, we'll wait and see. I just think it certainly feels, I guess the biggest point for me is it feels like Jimmy is Jimmying again. And that's what I'm most concerned about because that never typically seems to end well. And I've told you guys in our group chat, the owner picks the coach. every time. Every sport, every team, the owner picks the coach. And it's amusing to me that like the GMs sit up there at these introductory press conferences and they talk about what they love about the guy. It may be true, but it may be total crap. That because they may not have wanted that guy at all, but the owner said that's who we're hiring, because that happens more often than you realize.
Right.
It always comes down to the owner, and when you look at like the search party or the recommendation, whatever leads a few years ago to Sean McDermott, and they hired Hugh Jackson. And all the signs that indicated, like Kevin Stefanski was on the radar in 2019, and that's when you had to split the organization. You had DePodesta over here, you had John Dorsey over here. The analytics search department headed for Kevin, and Jimmy sided with Dorsey and went the Freddie Kitchens route, and we know how that ended.
Yeah.
And now it seems yet again where we've got one side over here with Nate Shieldhouse, and then they pivoted and went the other way with Monken. Doesn't mean it's going to be a bad hire. I think it'll be fine. I think he'll do a fine job. I think it'll be fine. It's just you just don't know. You just get the feeling the Browns don't know what they're looking for, and that's. I was talking to an executive who has been in that hiring position before, and we talked about I showed him the clip of Pelissaro talking about the essays and the surveys, and I do think a little bit that got overblown, and I can't remember if we talked about this on the remote show Monday or not. And he said, you can't capture leadership within data. Data is a good thing. It's good to have data. There's nothing wrong with some of the stuff that they're doing, but it looks like they don't know what they're looking for, because you can't really capture a guy's leadership traits within a survey or within a questionnaire.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll wait and see on it. I don't think it was a home run. I don't think it was a total bust. I don't think this is going to be another Freddie Kitchens situation where 3 games in we're looking at this going, oh my God, what have they done? I don't think that at all.
They hired a good football man.
Yeah.
I mean, and it does seem like, as time's gone by since the hiring, that maybe he didn't get a job for so long for the same reason Mike Zimmer didn't get a job for a long time, because maybe he's brutally honest. And that doesn't sit well with a lot of owners.
I love it.
As a media, we love it. This guy's going to be the opposite of Kevin Stefanski in press conferences.
But even and you're right, because I know people who have been fired before because they were the only honest person in the room.
Right, yeah.
And they told the truth. And when you don't laugh at the owner's jokes, and when you tend to be direct with them and tell them what you really think, a lot of times that gets you sent out elsewhere.
Yeah.
But in a healthy organization, that's exactly what you need.
100%. Yeah. Yes.
I think when you look at, I don't remember whether it was AB or it was Jimmy Haslam who said this when they came out and talked about him getting hired. One of them said something to the effect that they liked what type of coach he was in this life cycle of the Cleveland Browns organization. And I took that to mean that at a point in time where you got a lot of young, impressionable players and a lot of players that you're trying to mold and trying to build something with, you do need somebody that's going to be honest with you. You do need somebody that's going to give you some tough love and tell you what you need to hear and do some really roll their sleeves up and do some tough coaching. Mm-hmm. And I think him as an offensive guy, and that was their focus, getting offensive things together. His track record says that he's worked with a numerous amount of quarterbacks, a number of different systems. He's not married to one. But the one thing that he does have is he has a track record of showing that he could put points on the board, and his offenses have been explosive, whether that's at Georgia, whether that's with the Baltimore Ravens. And so I like – the more and more I look at it, the more and more the hire makes sense to me. Now, they could have – ultimately backed their way into it. They could have messed the process up and backed their way into a pretty good coach that could have been on their list first. But, sometimes, as we all say, sometimes you got to get lucky. We just projecting and trying to figure out and extrapolate to see if this guy is going to be great or not. Time will tell. You don't get wins and losses during the press conferences or what we think. So time will see what it is. But on paper,
the Browns botched the process so bad that I think the reaction from myself and certainly a lot of others was so negative when he first got hired because of how the Browns, what they put out there, how they handled it. It was so poor. And then when you sit back and just say, okay, listen, the guy, this is not Freddie Kitchens. This is a guy who is highly thought of around the league and just well respected. And so it doesn't mean he's going to be great.
Right.
And he's like any other, like most Browns coaches, he's behind the 8 ball to start with the roster
Sure.
on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
But it's not a terrible hire, if nothing else.
I do think no team will say this. Obviously, they'd get sued. But I do think with a lot of these guys, they reach an age where they just get crossed off.
Yes,
if
right.
you haven't been, it's almost like if you're single by this age,
Right.
what's wrong with you?
Yes.
Why have you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it gets that way to be with an NFL head with coaching. If you
Right.
are reach your 50s,
yeah, and
and
never
you've
been. It's
never
hard
been
to
a
get
head
off
coach,
that back on the list.
then they're going
Yeah.
to look at you like, well, what's the matter with you? Why has
Right.
no one else taken a chance?
I think
on
that's
you?
why I wasn't taking Todd Monken seriously.
Let me ask you this question, Jason, because we was talking about it the other day, and I said one of the reasons I think, because I was kind of surprised by Jim Schwartz's like reaction to it.
Yeah.
Because it was, I mean, for better or worse, he lost his mind when he was in there when he didn't get the job. I said I think one, he was hurt because of it, and two, I think kind of to what you're saying is, I think that he had been waiting for another opportunity to
Yep.
get a head coaching spot, and he felt like this was his best.
He knew
chance
this
to do so.
this was
this
his
was
last
it.
chance.
And
If
so-
he doesn't get this, he's not getting one.
This was his last chance.
The ship kind of sailed
Yeah.
on, and he had to, deal with that.
And that goes back to the process, Adam, that you were talking about. Like, I don't. All this will come out. That's why I wrote today. This will all come out in 3 or 4 years.
Right.
When although it seems to be leaking a little bit earlier with some of the short stuff.
Yeah.
But when all these guys are fired and everybody's swept out, like we joke all the time about the stories that I have about how the interview process
Yeah,
went, and I alluded to a little bit of it in today's stuff with like the head coach who came back for the second straight interview, 2 years in a row they brought him back, but he didn't really go into interview. He really went in to yell at them, like, why should I take your job after you didn't hire me last time? And then the people in the room who were doing the interviewing wound up, like, arguing with each other in front. Like, it's amazing.
God.
And then all the stories of Jimmy asking, like, candidates, well, what do you think I should do? What should we do? Like, what do you think the candidate's going to say? Of course, well, I think you should hire me. Like, it's just
God.
insane.
Yeah.
And so, like, here you go again with that process again. So if they really led, and I don't know, if they led Jim to believe that this was going to be his job, I can kind of understand the way that he reacted the way that he did. And maybe they have, because I know of head coaches or coaching candidates who felt like they were getting on a plane to come to a certain city that's awfully snowy and cold right now to do a press conference, and then at the last minute pivoted and they went another direction. So that very well may be. If Jim felt like this is my job and they led him to believe that, I understand why he felt that way. If they didn't, I think he's totally overreacting and acting like a child. You signed on to be the defensive coordinator of an NFL football team. That's your role.
Well, in the comments that people attributed to him, it said that he thought he had the job.
And now, again, is that his interpretation, or did they lead him to believe that? If they led him to believe that, I totally understand.
I don't agree that he's behaving like a child. I would be very angry if I were him.
If he's making assumptions that he was getting the job.
I mean, we'll
never know.
We'll never know for sure. I mean, maybe we will know, because there might be, I'm sure there are 2 versions. You ask Jim Schwartz something, you ask Jimmy Haslam something,
right.
They're going to give you 2. Now, it's entirely possible he led them to believe that, or maybe Jimmy just thought like, hey, I'm just going to throw money at him anyway, so what's the difference if we don't hire him?
That's how they problem solve around here.
So.
If I'm Todd Monken, I don't want him as my DC now. Not after that. I don't want him.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Given Jim's reputation, and I told you guys last week, he's got a reputation. He can be difficult to work with.
Yeah.
That's your reputation coming in, and now this is how it's going to start?
Yeah.
No.
Listen.
And Jim's good. Jim's really good.
Yeah.
He's really, really good at what he does. We'll get into it, I think, on the TV show. I think part of the reason they wanted to hold on to him so badly is because they built this defense to fit his scheme.
He's right. And
So
I had
did
Zach on my podcast this morning. That's what he said. All these players.
I mean, they
fit
took
what he
Mason
does.
Graham
to
fit Jim Schwartz's scheme.
And Jim is the best hire that the organization has made.
So then
the
why
entire time they've been here.
So then why didn't you make him the head coach? There has to be a reason. Why you didn't just trust him to make him the head coach.
Yeah. And then if you weren't going to, why did you say he was definitely going to be here? You shouldn't have said that if you weren't going to give him the job.
And again, it's semantics.
Yeah.
We're parsing words here.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything, we've talked about this before, I don't think there's anything wrong with telling a candidate, listen, we really love this guy. He's done a great job here.
Right.
We want you to take a look at him, talk to him. Just talk to him.
Yeah.
If you guys hit it off, if you think it'll work, great. And if not, it's your call. You have to have the power to build your own staff.
Yeah.
We'll live. It'll be all right. We'll be disappointed, but it'll be all right. But to push him, and from my understanding, they were really pushing Jim.
Yeah.
It's part of the reservation that Nate Shieldhouse had with the job was he didn't want to have his staff forced on him.
But again, why, if the Browns knew, like, why would they push when they didn't they know that he was going to be angry if he didn't get the job? And I believe, this is just speculation. There's no way to know this for sure.
Yeah.
I've said this a couple of times, but I haven't said it with you. I think Jim Schwartz is probably even more pissed because they hired a guy in his age bracket.
Yeah.
I think if they hired Nate Shieldhouse or Udinsky, in his mind he could say, you know what, I get it. I'm older. You know, in the reality of it. I get it. They want to have a young, I understand. I may not agree with it, but I get it. But then he's thinking like, what? This guy's a good coordinator. So am I. They promoted another guy from another organization over me when I've done it here.
Yeah.
He's never been a head coach.
Yep.
And he's the same age as me, so what's up?
I think they wanted an offensive coach.
I hear you, but I'm just talking from his perspective.
Oh, yeah. I just think
that. I think in the end they wanted an offensive
I think they were close. I think they were here and here. But I think Todd Monken, they liked his plan for what they want the offense to be. And if you got 2 first-round draft picks and you're using those on offensive players, I just think that they felt more comfortable going with – now, look, I told you before. I mean, I would have hired Jim Schwartz. I said I had him 60-40. However, I am of the thought process with Jason. If you want Todd Monken to be successful, you have to eliminate – it's one band, one sound. You can't have you can't have 2 – okay. And if Todd goes to him and says, hey, look, let me see what you're talking about. Listen, I know you was upset. I get it. Yeah. And they could work something out. That's fine. But for me, you can't have – we've seen this with a lot of different places, whether it's Buddy Ryan, whether it's other places where you got a defense and then it's the offense.
We've seen it here.
And it's been here. Like,
you know what? You probably don't. I mean, listen, I think it's worth it for Todd Monken to maybe have a conversation with him, and if he feels good about it, maybe. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. But this DC hire is huge.
Sure.
If they hire somebody else because – they got to hire somebody that basically runs a defense the same way as Jim Schwartz, because you've got guys, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, they're going to be great no matter what. But you've got a lot of guys, and including what's his name, the linebacker they got to re-sign,
Devin Bush.
Devin Bush, thank you.
Who thrived in Jim Schwartz's
in this system. Malik Collins, this system. You mentioned Mason Graham. Like, you can't change it around too much with the personnel you have.
Well, you can, but ideally you don't.
Well, you shouldn't.
Yeah,
probably.
ideally.
Yeah.
And that's why I have a name for you guys for the TV show that probably hasn't come up yet that I think would be a good fit here as the DC. Okay. I don't know what it's not a Baltimore guy. I don't know what the relationship is, if any, between Monken and this person, but and it's a name that you'll probably go, what? But I think it would fit exactly what you're saying, that they could keep the schemes and style that they play now.
Okay.
That's a great tease.
Mike. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get to our next topic here. It's brought to us by FanDuel. We have a winning FanDuel ticket from guess who?
Darren.
No! Psych, Darren did send us a winning ticket. This is not Darren's ticket, though. Darren, you'll get your ticket next week. This is from Aiden Griswold, who hit a 12-part moneyline college basketball parlay. Aiden bet $2.
You know he wishes he bet $20.
Won $665.33 on a 12-part moneyline college basketball parlay. So shout out to Aiden Griswold.
Wow, he picked 12
for
winners.
That winning ticket.
12.
I mean, it looks like they were all pretty big favorites, but still.
That's tough in college basketball.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Kennesaw State in there, one of my favorite schools.
It was. All right, so we mentioned the video clip we saw earlier of
I'm kidding.
Todd Monken telling Shedeur Sanders, hey, I wanted to draft you in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Love seeing that stuff, to you guys' point. They should have been doing that and should have been doing that since all the quarterbacks have been here under every coach. It's good PR. Yesterday, the Athletics' Diana Rossini put out a Scoop City podcast, and she had some reporting on the Browns quarterback situation. This is what Diana Rossini said in her Scoop City podcast, and I quote, quarterback is going to be the biggest part of this because that's the area where they are in risk mode because they don't really have anything set just yet. they're probably going to have to go get one. I don't believe this organization is all in on Shedeur. We'll see what Todd Monken has in store for the Cleveland Browns because it is not an easy job. Remember, Jeremy Fowler also said on Wednesday, regardless of who they hired, it ended up being Monken, he expected the Browns to go and add to the quarterback room.
Right.
So juxtapose that to the video we did see this morning.
Yeah.
You have kind of both ends of the spectrum.
I mean, I don't think you take the video.
I just want to put it out there that
Yeah.
there is proof of Monken talking to Shedeur saying, hey, I want to draft you. You see the reporting. Bull, where do you stand on this never-ending quarterback conversation with the Cleveland Browns right now? Do you believe the reporting, and you think they're going to add somebody?
Of course you believe the reporting. The Todd Monken saying we tried to draft you.
In the 4th round to be a backup.
Yeah, right. That doesn't mean they're committed to Shedeur Sanders. I think the most likely scenario is that Shedeur Sanders is the starting quarterback at the beginning of the 2026 season. If you ask me today, I think that's the most likely scenario. But is the organization committed as if he's definitely the guy? How could they be? That wouldn't make any sense. So, so the reporting from Jeremy Fowler and Diana Rossini makes a lot of sense. Until you know you have a quarterback, you got to keep looking for quarterbacks. So what they're not going to, I've said it once, I'll say it a million times, there's no way these 3 guys are the quarterbacks next year. I'll be stunned beyond belief if that happens. I think Dylan Gabriel is 100% gone. I don't care if they have to cut him. I don't think anybody's is anybody giving anything up for him? 7th round pick, maybe?
I don't.
Kevin go take him in Atlanta for a 7th round pick?
I don't. I'm less on the idea that they may add somebody to the room later on, but I don't know how people feel like they're going to move 3 people. If you
Not 3, but they're going to move. They only have to move 1.
I mean, but do you really have to move that 1 for?
Well, if you're going to bring in a new quarterback, you're not going to keep 4 quarterbacks.
Well, I don't think if they get a quarterback and they in camp, you may have a camp battle between somebody on the end of the roster.
It depends how they get him. If they trade for Mac Jones or sign Malik Willis or draft a quarterback in the first 4 rounds, that guy's going to be on the team.
I think those are all pipe dreams. I think nobody's signing Mac Jones. I don't think Malik Willis trade. Like I don't think they're going to invest money in signing Malik Willis when you already owe another dude all this money and you're already strapped to finish building the rest of the roster. So I think they're
not that strapped because they're going to create a decent amount of cap space.
They've got 20-ish million right now. They can rework more contracts to get to 30 or 40.
Right.
I think.
So I don't know. I mean,
and I want that.
I just don't see them going with the same 3 quarterbacks. I think that's unrealistic.
I don't know why.
Because
they were terrible.
Yeah.
Well, I look at it like this. Malik Willis has shown me nothing. He played less than one of these guys.
You're arguing me I'm not saying they should get Malik Willis from these guys.
Somebody
was telling you.
Some team is signing Malik Willis.
Yes. I don't think the Browns are going to sign Malik Willis.
Somebody will sign him.
But the Browns, I would be shocked if they don't either acquire a veteran via trade or free agency or draft somebody 4th rounder earlier. I would be shocked if they don't do one of those 2 things.
I wouldn't.
And I'm not saying they should because to my mind, I don't like any of those guys.
No.
But or at least I don't know that any of those guys are necessarily going to be better than Shedeur Sanders. Now, I don't know that they're not. Well, I mean, obviously Trubisky, Mariota, Garoppolo, Stidham. I don't have any interest in those guys.
Shedeur was not good last year. If you believe in his ceiling, if you believe in the trajectory, okay, fine. But to say that those guys are not better quarterbacks right now is insane. They are.
Malik
what do you
Willis?
Mean? Who?
Put that list back up.
Malik Willis is better than him?
Right now?
I'm not talking. I'm saying
Marcus Mariota?
Yes. Right
Marcus
now? Right now?
Mitch Trubisky?
Sure. Marcus Mariota is a better quarterback right now.
But who would I rather have? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But
that's
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Here. Are you trying to win as many? That's what Jimmy said. Jimmy told you they're trying to win next year.
Those veteran guys, outside of maybe Willis and Mac Jones, we don't know. The rest of those guys stink.
Yeah, they ain't no good.
But the quarterback room last year was
stinks.
Horrible.
I agree, but I don't see the point of a Marcus Mariota.
Okay, so those are 2 different conversations. If you want to continue to build and believe that you got something there and you can get something out of them,
right?
Okay, fine. To say that there are no better options right now, it's like the Todd Monken football coach thing.
Right
now, today,
yes.
Todd Monken's the best coach.
Well, I said the other day, if the Browns actually want to win as many games as possible, the best guy they could acquire that I see is Jameis Winston. Honestly, he's better than all those guys.
You might be right.
He's better than all those guys. If this year, if 2026
and Winston played with Monken.
Yeah.
What's that?
Winston played for Monken.
If 2026 is just about winning as many games as possible, they should acquire Jameis Winston, in my opinion. If it's about seeing if we got a quarterback, then they should stick with Shedeur Sanders. Or I guess in theory, sign Malik Willis.
I think
the rest of those guys, yeah, they're better than some of them are. They're better than Shedeur Sanders right now, but their upside is nothing.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I believe, this is my personal opinion. I think the Browns are way higher on Shedeur Sanders than a lot of people believe. I think that they've seen some things in Shedeur Sanders that they feel that can translate with Todd Monken as a coordinator. Now, does that mean that he's going to be jettisoned and he's going to be the quarterback to start immediately, or he has it? The reality about playing 7 games is I don't know who you are. Nobody, you can't be sure anybody is a franchise quarterback in 7 games if you play 7 games. You have to have a body of work, and you got to be able to consistently do it. I believe that giving a full offseason, giving more weapons, giving some things around them, and actually getting some reps during the offseason and being immersed into the playbook, I think that they feel like they can get a lot or to get the maximum out of Shedeur Sanders. Now, that's yet to be seen. But for the Cleveland Browns, it's foolhardy to keep doing the same things you continuously do and then hope that it's going to be better. We've seen the retreads. Jameis Winston was here, and we've seen him throw a bunch of picks. We've seen the Josh McCowns and the Jake DeLones
right, but
and
I'm
those
saying,
guys.
I was saying, if you're trying to win as many games as possible next year, in my opinion, Jameis is the best option, right? I mean, it's hard to argue with that or whatever.
I know who Jameis Winston is.
But that's not what I'm saying, G. I'm not saying. If the Browns' goal is to win as many games as possible, if that's the goal,
I believe
Shedeur Sanders does not give them a better chance to win in 26 than Jameis.
Here's what I'm saying. I believe that Shedeur Sanders, the goal is to win games and to develop and see what you got in the quarterback.
Okay, if that's the goal,
that's a different conversation than what you said.
Then Shedeur Sanders makes a lot more sense than Jameis Winston. I'm just saying, if the goal, Jason said they expect to win, they expect to win.
Jimmy just came out.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe that he's out there talking like that.
If they want to get the quarterback that gives them the best chance to win as many games as possible, to me, that's Jameis Winston. I wouldn't go there,
right?
But to me, that's the answer.
Right.
If that's the question, then that's the answer to me. Now you can pick somebody else. You may disagree with the answer, but that would be my answer to it. But that's not how I would handle it if I were the Browns. The only guy on that list I would even consider if I'm the Browns is Malik Willis, because he's played as little as Shedeur has, and so he might have plenty of upside too. I don't know.
But the goal of this
Are you sure Shedeur Sanders is better than Malik Willis?
Man, I'm listening. Malik Willis is cool.
Yeah.
Malik Willis had 2 games.
Yeah.
Like, he played 2 games. He's barely played.
Okay.
For you to pivot and go back and get Malik Willis, and he doesn't even have the body of work or any sample size, and pay him that amount of money is crazy, because the Browns need so you're telling me I'm going to take money and invest it in the quarterback room, given the fact that I need offensive linemen, I need to retool I need to get more weapons, and even if you like Malik Willis, why would you take money off the books?
Well, if you think Malik Willis has more upside than Shedeur Sanders, then you do it.
Then I don't think Malik Willis is better than Deshaun Watson.
I mean, I can't. Maybe he's not. I mean, Deshaun Watson.
He hasn't.
To me, Deshaun Watson's terrible. So at this point,
if you look at numbers and you look at the body of work, Malik Willis has not done anything that Deshaun Watson has done. And you already paying Deshaun Watson a crazy amount of money.
I wouldn't make this move. But that's a bad comparison, because Deshaun Watson hasn't done anything good in 7 years. 6 years.
He's played. How many games Malik Willis start?
This year, just
in life. In life,
he has 6 starts. Less than Shedeur.
So 6 starts. I'm not. Why would you? You already got somebody that is cheaper.
You're missing the point, though. I'm just saying. The only guy I would consider on that list, I don't think the Browns should, because ultimately it doesn't make sense for them to spend that money. But Malik Willis is the only guy on that list that, except for Ty Simpson, who's a draft pick, but of the rest of the guys who are already in the league, to me, Malik Willis is the only guy that you might look at and say, maybe I think he has more upside than Shedeur Sanders. And if you think that, then they might go after him.
Well, that's. I mean,
you're in the minority opinion that I think you're in the minority opinion that the organization, you think the organization really believes in Shedeur Sanders?
No, I said I think the organization believes in Shedeur Sanders more than maybe the media may think.
You might be right. Now, we've had two reporters both say they don't believe in the quarterback situation. They're going to be looking for other options. You think they're wrong?
I mean, that could be their opinion.
I don't think. No, they're not giving opinion. They're saying
they're not giving opinion.
Yeah,
but I mean, Andrew Berry sat here and absolutely glazed Travis Hunter for 3 months.
Yeah,
and then traded out of the 2 spot. So they have a history of publicly
saying one thing and doing another.
And I don't even think they publicly glazed Shedeur. I mean, he ain't really even said. I mean, Andrew Berry came out and said, "Hey, look, we're gonna look at every opportunity to improve this room." And I told people that's what you're supposed to do. I
think in the end, it's hard for me to believe that the organization is all in on him when they drafted him in the 5th round that he didn't play particularly well. I mean, that's the fact.
Well, the fact is, this is the thing that I keep getting.
Yeah.
It's crazy because people say he didn't play all that well. He didn't play all that well.
Yeah.
I don't, and this is to me, this is the thing that always gets missed.
Yeah.
How can a person who obviously has not been playing the entire season, was not in the rotation, was not getting no reps.
Yeah.
I saw this person come out and in one game with very limited reps, a very limited personnel grouping, and throw for almost 400 yards.
Right, he had a good game.
So again, like he didn't play lights out the whole season. How can a person like the game against the Bengals? He had a terrible game in the beginning, but when it counted, he put the team on his back. He got downfield, and they won a game against a playoff team, against the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Who won the division. All they needed to do was win.
He didn't do anything in that game.
But
I mean, P.J. Walker beat the.
Come on,
Niners.
I know he didn't play well this year. Just keep it.
What do you like? First of all, what do you mean he didn't? Like,
didn't play well. I don't know what you're arguing. This is reality.
Why didn't he get better with more reps? Why didn't his play?
It doesn't mean he can't be good.
Everyone wants to
didn't
make
play
such
well.
a big deal about the lack of reps early on.
There's no argument that he played well.
He got every single rep after he was named the starter. Why didn't he continue to progress and get significantly
so
better?
let me just tell you, when he started getting reps, look at the offensive line. How many people went down? How many people?
Everybody understands that he didn't have any talent around him.
If you don't ask me a question, you got to let me finish.
Okay,
stop
go ahead.
cutting me off. Okay, so
but you asked me a question within your answer.
So what I'm saying to you is, when you look at the totality of it, the thing is, we're looking at it in a vacuum as if Shedeur Sanders is supposed to elevate a team.
No, I wasn't.
He's asking me why didn't he get better?
Go ahead.
How is he elevating the team when the team obviously was not good as a whole? The coach got fired. The offensive coordinator was out here. The offensive line was in shambles. Quinshawn Judkins wasn't playing. You don't have any weapons. The fact is that we're talking about this guy like he is supposed to run the show and do everything. And how come he didn't get better? I didn't see Jackson Dart not be great. I didn't see Cam Ward not be great. I didn't see those guys throw for 30 yards.
Yeah.
The reality is, in 6 games, if you're looking to justify or say whether or not Shedeur Sanders is a franchise quarterback is a foolhardy mission.
Nobody's talking about that.
Nobody is going to say that he played lights out, but to deny that he showed some talent or traits and opportunities in certain pivotal times is patently false.
But all the things you're saying are not things that I said. You're making arguments against other people.
No,
I said he had.
You said he didn't play well.
I didn't say he didn't play well at all.
Well, I'm just pointing.
Overall, he had a bad season in the 7 games he played.
What I'm pointing to,
of course, he had moments. Brandon where he was good.
Had 3 300-yard games his rookie year.
Yeah,
like it happens.
And he was a starter from day one, right?
Yeah. What do you think? Shedeur Sanders is the first guy to ever come off the bench?
Listen, he's one of the first 5th rounders to throw for 300.
That's one game, G.
I'm just saying. So
you're going to tell me he had a good year? You think he had a good year?
I think he had an up and down year as a rookie.
All right, but overall it wasn't good. There were some good moments. Certainly, he showed some promise at times. But to say he had a good year,
who said that?
Okay.
I'm telling you what I'm saying.
I'm saying I'm expecting him to carry the team. You accused me of that. I didn't say that.
What I'm saying is he has the blank. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I keep talking about context. It's the blanket statement. So he didn't play good.
He did.
He didn't play
not
well.
have a good year.
He didn't play well. He didn't play. I'm showing you in the time periods and giving you examples of when he played well and things that I liked when I saw him do. So
he had some good moments.
So,
but if you look at the season of every quarterback in the league, and you have to say, did this guy have a good season or not? Your answer to Shedeur would be no. Nobody would say yes. Nobody would say Shedeur Sanders had a good season. You'd say, hey, it would have been hard for him to have a good season because the talent around him stunk. It would, he was in a tough situation because he was the fourth string quarterback, and then all of a sudden now he's the starter.
We said all that.
All those things can be factored in, of course. It would have been harder for him to have success than a quarterback with more talent around him, with better coaching and all these things. No doubt about it. Nobody was expecting him to carry the team, pick up the team.
I mean,
you're saying people are expecting that. Nobody's expecting
all I'm saying is,
but objectively,
as a starting quarterback, he had more wins than any other quarterback, including Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and whoever else was starting. Period. Point blank.
I mean,
what? What do you want me to say?
What do you mean? Now all of a sudden we're judging by wins and losses?
What do you want to say?
What do you want to judge? You're being disingenuous.
How am I being
You're being disingenuous.
Here's what I'm doing.
Because if Dylan Gabriel would have won those games, you wouldn't have said anything.
But Dylan Gabriel,
I keep it I keep it 100 with every guy. You don't. You're not.
What are you talking about?
You're not being fair about it.
Dylan Gabriel didn't win the games.
If he did, I would have still said he sucked, even if he had. And you're not being fair here.
How am I not being fair? Because I'm telling you what he did. I told you he threw for 300.
You can cherry pick a few stats that you want.
I told you he
won. Ignore all the stats and say he had a bad season.
I told you he led to 2 division wins. Who else got them division wins?
Nobody.
Thank you.
Well, they would have gotten the win over the Ravens if Shedeur didn't blow it in the second half.
Hey, listen,
had him in the lead.
He had very little to do with those division wins, and you know it.
Okay, well, he had the last drive.
He had very little.
He had the last drive.
He did have the last drive.
To put his team in. Here's the thing,
he also
guys.
threw it right to Nate Herbig, who dropped it, which would have been a pick six.
Well, I could say the same. Dylan had 10 of those.
Dylan sucks. Nobody's defending Dylan. You're defending.
Yes, I actually defending Dylan because y'all want to cut Dylan Gabriel too.
He sucks.
Listen, the reality of the situation is, people are moving. You want something new. Everybody just wants something new. I can go down a list of 12 to 15 quarterbacks that have been talked about that everybody wants. When that person turns out not to be good or moves out the way, you move on to another quarterback. Whether it's Dante Moore, whether it's Mendoza, whether it was Joe Flacco, whether it was Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel or Nussmeier or Klubnik, it's one after another. Now the new flavor of the week is Malik Willis, like he played in the
No,
games.
he's not.
He is.
No, you and I are debating. I've never mentioned any of those guys. How many times have I said in the past few days, I think Shedeur Sanders should be the starter next year? How many times? 10? 12? I mean, what else do I have to say? But I'm going to still be honest and say he was, if you objectively look at his quarterback play overall, did he have moments that gave you hope? Absolutely. Did he play well as a whole? No, he didn't, and that's very obvious.
And guess what? And what I keep trying to tell you, this is a team sport. It's a team.
Then the wins. So the wins are a team.
It's a team.
You're giving them all the credit for the wins.
What I'm saying is it's a team sport.
Yeah, we know that.
And guess what?
You got to judge the quarterback.
And you judge everybody, but you can't judge the quarterback in a vacuum. When you're saying overall, I'm giving you concrete examples. I'm giving you numbers. I'm giving you what he did on the field. I'm giving you what it looked like afterwards.
More interceptions than more turnovers than touchdowns.
I see that. Yeah.
Okay, that's bad.
And guess what?
How many other quarterbacks did that in the NFL this year?
And guess what?
Yeah.
How many of them were rookies?
Jackson Dart, Dylan Gabriel.
Who started less games? Shedeur Sanders.
Okay. Those guys didn't have more turnovers than touchdowns, I don't think. Maybe Cam Ward did. I'm not sure.
I'm not just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm looking at the situation.
What's that?
I'm looking it up now.
I can't believe we're really having this argument about whether he had a good season or not. It's silly.
Because you keep saying stuff that I'm not saying. Who said that he had a really good season? I told you. You said, what do you think, G? I said he had some good spots. He had some bad spots. He had an up and down year as a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
But I saw the prerequisite things that I think, given an offseason and a new coordinator in offense and better pieces and parts, he could be better in 2026. That is exactly what I said.
I didn't agree. I didn't didisagree with that.
Well, why are we arguing then?
Well, then what did we spend the last 25 minutes
I don't know. Because he didn't have overall, there was more bad than good, in my opinion.
That's it. You're entitled to that.
I think that's pretty obvious.
You're entitled to that.
One other rookie quarterback had more turnovers than touchdowns this year. That was Riley Leonard.
What, did he play one game?
Yeah.
He played one game.
I mean, look, I think we talk about it all the time. Like, if you can imagine and squint and look and see if Malik Willis that you're like, okay, it's better. I look at that list. We talk about Jameis Winston. We already had Jameis Winston here.
I understand that. I'll just let it go. I'm just speaking for the Browns. If they want to just win games, do you think they win more games next year with Jameis Winston or Shedeur Sanders at quarterback next year?
I don't even know why. I'm
just asking you that question.
I'm going with Shedeur Sanders. You already know what I feel.
So you think they'd win more games with Shedeur Sanders?
I'm going with Shedeur Sanders.
Jason, who do they win more games with next year?
Jameis.
Mike, who you vote? Who you picking?
I'd probably say Jameis, but I don't feel confident in that.
All right, fair enough.
Well, you got to answer. You're asking everybody else.
I mean, it's obvious they'd win more
Jameis.
games. Jameis is a proven NFL quarterback. Honestly, he should have been a starter. There's definitely not 32 quarterbacks better than him in the league.
He's at the lower end of that, but
okay, not even the bottom though. I mean, he's probably like around 23, 25. I can't
that's
imagine.
the lower end.
Okay, fine, but like,
well, why didn't they sign him when he was here then?
Because he has no upside. Like, he is what he is.
So why would they then dip back and get him?
That wasn't the question.
The question is if you're trying to win as many games
If you're
right
just
now,
trying to win as many games.
It's a we're trying to win right now versus we're trying to develop something for the future.
Right.
It's two different conversations.
Exactly. All right.
All right, let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, guys. Before we do that, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us on social media. We got some behind-the-scenes Olympic content coming out here shortly. You can find that on our social media pages, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you guys.
I should probably not look at my mentions right now.
I can't imagine they're too pretty. But let's talk Cavs before Ross Tucker joins the show in a second. There have been quite a bit of rumors lately involving Deandre Hunter as the trade deadline approaches us. The trade deadline is next Thursday, February 5th at 3 p.m. Jason, there's been a lot of smoke between the Cavs and the Lakers in a possible DeAndre Hunter deal. The latest name floated around by Chris Fedor has been some sort of three-team deal between the Cavs, the Lakers. Hunter would go to L.A., Rui Hachimura and some other stuff would come to the Cavs, but they need a third team to facilitate a deal. It cannot be a Cavs-Lakers deal because of the cap situations where both teams are, not just Cleveland, but where L.A. is. Jason, have you heard anything on the Cavs' desire to possibly part ways with DeAndre Hunter, who may be a little more expendable than we thought when the year started due to the play recently of Jalen Tysons?
Yeah, I think two things. I think Jalen's emergence makes DeAndre a little bit less necessary, and I think the trade hasn't worked out the way that they thought it would. I think Hunter was a better fit for whatever reason last year. He had a better year, and this year, I think this year you see why Atlanta moved off him and why, we said last year, oh my goodness, I can't believe the Cavs got DeAndre for as little as they gave up. And now you look at it and you go, okay, so maybe that's why Atlanta was willing to move off some of the future money owed to him. And now the Cavs are in that spot. I like Hachimura. I was surprised. I mean, the Lakers got him for like a second-round pick from Washington.
2 seconds for Hachimura.
Yeah, back a few years ago. So I think he could fit well here. I also think they need to – I don't think it's going to happen in season. If they can get under the apron this summer, I think that's important, and that's a separate conversation to have. And we'll just wait and see on that and how it goes. I will still be surprised if they're able to pull off a move by the deadline. I just think that they're so restricted in what they're capable of doing. And I think if I'm them, they're starting to play well. They're putting the wheels back on. It's the end of January, coming into February. Teams know it's time to start hitting the gas and starting to go. I mean, at this point, we talked about making changes last year to the team, and they didn't do it. At this point, you're sort of pot committed to what you are. Ride it out and see what this team can accomplish if they can get some health behind them.
Yeah, I think, man, DeAndre Hunter played really well like the other night, and I feel like he just got to get into the swing and flow of things. I've always said, like Jason said, I think they are who they are at this point. I think, it's too hard to make moves now to get under the apron, to make some other moves. I think he has the tools inside. I just think the problem with DeAndre Hunter, as we seeing, is he's just inconsistent. Like, he's a guy that you can't count on to knock down shots all the time. The thing that's getting me a little bit is his lack of, I guess, intensity on the defensive end of the floor. Because coming out of Atlanta, I thought that was exactly what they needed, a wing that was can shoot the ball, can defend other guys' wings, and be a dude that could really, bolster them defensively because they already had Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. But he's had a bad year, 30% from behind the arc. He's not shooting the ball very well, and he just doesn't seem to have that juice and punch. And when you do get a guy like Jalen Tyson, he kind of came in and did a lot of the things that we was expecting for DeAndre Hunter. So I'm expecting people to hear that kind of that swirling stuff about the trade. I just don't know, Jason, if they got the financial tools and assets to get under the cap and then do something else with it in turn.
Yeah, in the next week, no, I don't think so. Hunter's a guy, when he walks on the floor, he looks a lot better than he plays. When he walks on the floor, you're like, all right, this should be a dude. Just with his length, the athleticism, all that stuff. And he had a great couple of months last year after the trade. It seemed like a perfect fit. And it just hasn't been. And I think this year is more in line with the player that he's been, where it just sort of leaves you wanting a little bit more.
Yeah, his game, he looks like the dude, like if you see walk off the bus, you'd be like, oh, man, he about to get 50.
Yeah.
He about to get 40.
He looks more. You just feel like there should be more in there. And last year they got it. They got it those couple of months. But not this year.
Against the Lakers on Wednesday, his second half was awesome. It was reminiscent of the DeAndre Hunter the Cavs had gotten for the majority of the season after they acquired him from Atlanta. The issue is just been the consistency. He has not been able to find the jump shot defensively. He's kind of taken a step back. It feels like his lateral quickness, which made him such an effective wing defender because he has these 7'3" freak of nature length arms and could move quick enough side to side to stay in front of basically anyone. It just doesn't appear that that's still necessarily – I don't want to say he's not capable of it. It's just not on a night-to-night basis. It's not as capable of it as he's been in the past. And with the Rui fit, if they are able to find a way to acquire Rui for DeAndre Hunter, the money doesn't work straight up, so you have to bring a third team in here to make the deal plausible. Rui's a buy low cannon on a guy who can shoot from beyond the arc and can play alongside either Allen or Mobley or both, and give you a supersized front court if you really want to go that route. The fact the Cavs are a second apron team, Jason, and I don't know if you feel the same way, I don't anticipate them being heavily involved in the Giannis sweepstakes, even after what Wendy said yesterday. I don't think they're going to go star hunting.
Did you text Wendy, by the way?
No.
I'd be shocked if they do more addition than kind of subtraction and try and reset their books, because there's no way they're going to be a second apron team next year. This year it feels like they're right on the precipice, but I can't imagine with how the future implications and penalties of the second apron that they'd be willing to run it back twice. And all the reporting seems to indicate they're trying to get their books clean. They want expiring contracts, which, by the way, Rui is an expiring contract for what it's worth, in exchange for some of these longer-term deals so they can be more cap compliant next year and have more flexibility to make significant moves if need be.
Yeah, you can't be – I mean, maybe they'll get out of the apron within the next week. Maybe they do. But you can't – I mean, they'd have to shed – like $30 million, I think.
That's cool.
They're 23 over right now.
Can you do that and not get worse?
No, you can't lose $30 million.
Well, then they can't do it.
I mean, the Hachimura thing as a replacement, that's viable. But that's why I'm kind of the mindset of you've come this far,
right?
Ride it out.
They're playing their best basketball of the year right now.
Ride it out, and then but then this summer is when you really need to look at this and.
Well, speaking of which, Jason, I'm going to cut you off because I want to know from you, is LeBron coming back?
Yeah, I was going to get to that, man. You try to come in and slide in here like we weren't going to ask you that, bro.
I wrote the other day that I think he should finish his career here, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
Come back.
Because I'm the one that's
retiring and come.
I'm the one that's been saying, like, enough, guys, enough.
It's got to either be stay with the Lakers or come here,
He ain't
right?
staying with the Lakers.
Okay.
I've read this book. I've written this book.
Yeah.
I know when it's over. It's over.
So it's over with the Lakers.
Yes.
So he can't go somewhere else.
I agree. You can't go
so
to
he's got to come
you
here.
Can't go to San Antonio.
No.
You can't go to Golden State.
No, he ain't going to do that.
You can't spend, like,
does he definitely want to play one? He wants to do his retirement tour, doesn't he?
I honestly, after being there Wednesday, I honestly think he doesn't know.
Really?
I honestly think he doesn't know.
All right, you would know if anybody.
What do they have to do cap-wise to make it, because he wanted.
He wouldn't take the minimum, the vet minimum.
So what maneuvering would that, and could this during this trade deadline be a maneuver to get him under for next year?
See, I don't think you can worry about, like, you're trying to win a championship right now. Do I think the Cavs are going to win a championship this year? No. Do I think that they are one of the teams that you'd put in that contender bin? Yeah. Absolutely. So you can't worry about trying to make moves now to try and sign a 41-year-old this summer. Like, you play right now to win a championship right now, and then you deal with the summertime in the summertime. But basically, they'd have to get off Lonzo's money, which is non-guaranteed. That's easy.
Yeah.
And they would have to move either Jarrett, sort of what Mike was talking about, move Deandre for expirings, or Jared Allen or something like that. They've got, like, because I want to make sure I had this right. I talked to our cap guy. Even if they move off Lonzo, they still have about another $25 million-ish that they have to cut to get under the apron, because not only do you have to get under the apron, you have to get far enough under that if you add a mid-level exception, because I don't think LeBron's taking a minimum. I don't even know if he would take a mid-level. But
he has so much money.
It's
the principle.
It's a Dan thing. It's a LeBron Dan thing. So if he, and the mid-level is like $6.1 million. So that you have to be far enough under that you can then sign a guy to a mid-level and still be out of the apron.
Right.
So basically, and like it would be Jarrett or DeAndre, something like that, plus Lonzo, and maybe a couple more.
They could possibly win a championship with him.
It's not outlandish, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yep,
but it's not crazy.
That would be so fun.
Because you know what they need, honestly, you know what the Cavs need, and we talked about this last year, is they brought Donovan here to lead them, right? But Donovan's never won anything.
Yeah.
So Donovan's trying to lead them up a mountain that he's never climbed.
Yeah.
And Kenny Atkinson is trying to lead them up a mountain that he's never climbed.
Right.
And like there's a first for everything, right? Like the Warriors didn't know how to win until they knew how to win.
Sure. Yeah.
But with LeBron, it's not even, because like I watched him the other night. It was rough. Like
he was awful in that game.
He was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
But he's still having a great season.
But I think
compared to the average human being,
I think the number. I mean, nobody else is putting up his numbers at his age.
Yeah.
But it's obvious he's not the same guy anymore.
Of course.
But I go back to, I was talking to Tristan last year, and Tristan said when LeBron got here, he told us, "Shut your mouth, open your eyes and ears, do what I tell you to do, and we're going to win."
Okay.
And they did. Yeah. And can he do what he did in 2016? No. Can he do what he did in 2018? No. He's not that guy anymore.
Oh, you need some spurts.
But you need it.
Play him 30 games in the regular season.
You need someone who's been there, who can show them the way, who knows how to do it. So that
would be it. And then at the end of the year, LeBron retires. Donovan, you trade, and there you go.
I don't think it's outlandish. Yeah. I don't think it's outrageous.
Love it. All right, Ross Tucker's coming in.
All right, we're going to bring Ross Tucker into the show. Ross today is brought to us by the Cleveland Monsters, who are the Lake Erie Monsters this weekend, tonight and tomorrow at Rocket Arena. All the fun starts with a 1-2-3 Friday and a Battle Together t-shirt giveaway, courtesy of True North Convenience Stores, for the first 5,000 fans. And then on Saturday, the first 8,000 fans receive a Zach Wierenski bobblehead, courtesy of the Cleveland Museum of Natural History. Enjoy returning players, themed jerseys, Calder Cup photos, and more in this step back in time to 2016. Tickets are on sale now at clevelandmonsters.com. And we are thrilled to welcome in host of the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. You can find him on social media at Ross Tucker NFL. And Ross, you got something special cooking for us today.
Yeah, I do. It's called the best Valentine's Day gift of all time. To something the type of thing that Bull would never get anybody.
I mean, I'm catching strays here, Ross.
It's called myfrontpagestory.com.
Yeah.
My buddy started the company. Think about this for a second, fellas.
Love it.
You talk to a writer for 10 minutes, or you can fill out an email if you want. Tell them how amazing your wife or your girlfriend or your whatever is. They write this incredible story. It's framed with pictures of you and her. Looks like it's on the cover of the newspaper, like the Cleveland Plain Dealer. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. When you give it to her and she's opening it, she can have no idea what it is because nobody's ever written anything about her. And so when you say, honey, I wanted something special for you, so I had a story written about you. Think about how romantic that sounds. Like she'll be like, what do you mean you had a story written about me? Yes, I commissioned an author to write a story about how amazing you are. And then make sure you tell the writer, I never thank her enough for all the little things she does for me.
I think
even if you can't think of anything, she thinks there's a bunch of little things. I've seen 20 videos now where they go, oh my gosh, he notices. and they like start crying. She will cry. You will win. It'll be the best Valentine's Day gift anybody's ever given her. She'll love you even more than she already does. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
The next time you get in an argument, this will be hanging up in the house somewhere.
I can
She'd
just
be like,
point to it.
oh, really? Did you have a story written about me? No, you didn't. I had a story written about you. MyFrontPageStory.com. MyFrontPageStory.com. It is the Todd Monken of Valentine's Day gift. It is awesome.
I love it, Ross. I actually am going to get. I think I'm going to get that. My wife will love that
you
because
just told her.
most of the Valentine's Day gifts these days are lame. I actually think that's new, creative. It's really cool. I appreciate that. One of the reasons.
First of all, how about that segue to go right to Monken?
That was well done.
Secondly, I just realized because I wear prints and stuff all the time, it looks like I'm always wearing Browns colors when I come on the show. I'm not a homer. This is not for the Browns. This is for Princeton, okay?
All right.
So just so we're clear.
So one of the reasons we wanted to have you on is because I know you like Todd Monken, and the initial reaction to the hiring of Todd Monken, we were all pissed and we were all angry, and it was a lot of and a lot of that was because the process that got him here was kind of a mess, which is usually the case with the Browns. But I think we've all kind of settled down now 48 hours later, and Todd Monken has grown on us. I, in particular, like the fact that I think we'll actually get answers in press conferences. Not that that's the most important thing, but we will. Tell us why you love Todd Monken so much as the head coach of the Browns.
Well, so there's two different reasons, okay? There's two separate paths we'll go to here. Number one, he's an awesome football coach, and a proven awesome football coach, and an incredible guy. And to your point, Bull, in my time around him, production meetings or talking with him on the field before the game, he is very much a straight shooter. Now, will he always be like that at a press conference or with the local media there? I don't know. But to me, he is. I mean, he tells you exactly. Like, I say something to him about Mark Andrews not getting the ball. He's like, yeah, he's not happy. And he shouldn't be. I wouldn't be happy if I was a star tight end not getting the ball either. Like, he's just awesome. You know, he's just real. He's awesome. He tells it the way it is. And by the way, he's actually been a head coach before. Back at Southern Miss, and they were 0-12. And a couple years later, he's the Conference USA Coach of the Year, and they win 9 games, which, by the way, that was his last year as a head coach, was then. He goes to Georgia. Guys, if you follow college football, Georgia's offense always stunk. It was always the defense. He goes there, and he gets walk-on Stetson Bennett to be a 2-time national champ, play his mind off, and get drafted by the Rams. So he wins 2 natties there. Then he goes to the Ravens. You guys know this. Lamar never played as well throwing the football as he did. 23 MVP, 24 maybe was the MVP again. Ravens fans are still mad about that. He was the first team all-pro quarterback. So I love Monken as a person and as a coach. Then you get to the Browns process. And this is important. And I wasn't there for the whole play-by-play and this guy pulls his name out. I don't care about all that. I know it's not the sexiest hire. You know what I appreciate it? I appreciate that whoever was running this for the Browns, whether it was Jimmy Haslam or Andrew Barry or both or whatever, right? I appreciate people that don't succumb to groupthink, okay? I think it's comical how every year all of the insiders and all of the agents get together and they talk about the same 4 or 5 young up-and-coming guys like Shielhaas and Udinsky and whatever. You know what I like? I like that the Browns interviewed Jim Schwartz and gave him a legit shot. I like that the Browns interviewed Todd Monken and gave him a legit shot. They weren't just going to get one of these, hot young guys because that's what people wanted them to get. They interviewed it. They had a real process. They had an individual critical thinking. They went with Monken. He's not even 60 yet. I know it's next week, but dude, are you really in Cleveland worried about his age? Are you kidding me? When's the last time a coach lasted longer than Stefanski? Never. Okay? Yeah. So if he's there for 10 years, what are you worried about? After they win their 3rd Super Bowl, if he retires? I mean, give me a break at this point. Yeah. Anyway, I just talked for 30 minutes, but I just killed everybody out there, bam, 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 that doesn't like Todd Monken hire.
That was a good. I mean, if you were his hype man, that was definitely good. That's a good reason to like him.
Well, one thing that we talk about, and everybody is talking about what he can do offensively. With the quarterback room they have currently, what are some things that Todd Monken brings to the table that the Browns hope that they can get, at the most out of the quarterback room and to try to solidify them offensively? What are some things that he does specifically in his philosophy that you think may be able to translate to the guys in the room?
Awesome job of tailoring the offense to the talent that he has. I don't know if you guys saw this, but in 2019, the Jets interviewed Todd for the head coaching job. And I read this article. Ryan Fitzpatrick had Monken as his OC with the Bucks. And he said, this guy has it. He relates to the players. And he designed the offense around Fitzpatrick's skill set, which is very different than Lamar Jackson's skill set. Maybe actually Fitzpatrick might be similar to like Stetson Bennett. I think there's some similarities there. But he's going to design it to what he has. Now, the interesting thing will be, is Deshaun really in the mix? Do they bring another guy in? I don't know if you guys have seen the video from this morning already where, he sees Shedeur Sanders and he's like, we tried to draft your ass last year. Like, he's hilarious. He's just awesome. Like, the guys, I can promise, are going to love him. And then he's going to see what Shedeur's skill set is, which is accurate, sees the field well. And if Shedeur's the guy they're going to go with, or at least one of the guys in the mix, he's going to let Shedeur be Shedeur in terms of surveying the field. Shedeur has stellar spatial awareness. I think that's the thing that jumps out when you watch him. He just has a really nice natural feel for the game. And, he got Lamar to play to be the best passer Lamar's ever been by far. By far. Look at the passing statistics for Lamar before Monken and after. So it's kind of exciting to think what he can do with Shedeur. And by the way, Shedeur showed me something last year. Better athlete than I gave him credit for. And I think Monken realizes you got to have a little bit of that in there. He's not going to be Lamar Jackson, but a little bit of that in there. Stetson Bennett gave him a little bit. You need a couple first downs a game with your leg.
Why do you think it took so long for Todd to get a head coaching job in the NFL?
Probably, it's a great question, and he probably has a crappy agent. And he probably was in college. So let me take a step back. Maybe not a crappy agent. Maybe the agent wasn't as embedded with the insiders as some of the other agents. And when he was the hot young candidate, he was in college football. He was at Southern Miss. Mm-hmm. NFL teams aren't going to take the Southern Miss head coach to be an NFL head coach, which, by the way, that's why he left Southern Miss to be the OC for the Bucks, because he realized this is not. It was his best year. He was Conference USA Coach of the Year, but he realized I got a better shot if I go and go to the NFL. Had some good years with the Bucks, maybe not great years. Then he goes to the Browns. We all know what that was like. Then he went to Georgia, won a couple national championships. And I think that's his bigger reason. I think he interviewed like in 2019. I think he's interviewed at times.
He was
but he hasn't gotten
the Packers job. Just a heads up. They hired LaFleur over him. So he's been close.
Ooh, that's interesting. I can see that. Yeah, I don't know. It's a great question, but I really don't care. Yeah, that's the other thing I'll say too. Nobody knows.
That's right.
That's true. Nobody knows about first-time head coaches. Nobody knows about repeat head coaches. I thought the Raiders would be 500 last year because of Geno Smith and Pete Carroll. It was a disaster. Yeah. Pete Carroll's a Hall of Fame coach. I didn't know that Liam Cohen was going to go to Jacksonville and turn things around. Nick Sirianni's opening press conference was bad, and he's made the playoffs every year and been to 2 Super Bowls and won one. Nobody loved Doug Peterson when the Eagles hired him. He was ranked as the worst hire. They won a Super Bowl a year or two. Nobody knows. Do I think he's a good coach? Yeah, I think he's going to do a good job. I absolutely do.
Browns have a lot of work to do on offense, Ross, as you know. There are problems everywhere. I wanted your thoughts on the offensive line because they basically are starting from scratch. You know, you don't have a left tackle. Bitonio's probably retiring at left guard. Your center's a free agent. Your right guard's a free agent. Your right tackle is a free agent. All the guys you used in reserve last year were pretty much horrible. How do you restart? Do you have to get that left tackle first? Do you force that, or I mean, do you try to fix it all in 1 year? Like, what would be your plan if you're trying to redo this offensive line?
Well, first of all, I don't think you force anything.
Fair.
But there's some pretty good examples in recent years. I mean, the Patriots had the worst offensive line in the league last year. I did 2 of their games. One for CBS, one for NFL Network. They were horrendous, and now they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What'd they do? They brought in a couple veterans, Morgan Moses and Garrett Bradbury. It's not like those guys were big-ticket guys. You know, those are guys anybody could have gotten. It's not like they got huge money, but they were solid veterans. They had Onwenu, moved him to guard, which is where he should be, and then they drafted the left side, Will Campbell and Jared Wilson. And now I don't know that they're a top 5 or even top 10 offensive line, but they're good enough to be in the Super Bowl. You know, the Bears, they went kind of the opposite route. The Bears went big money at center and both guards, and their offensive line got significantly better. So there's different ways that you can go about it, but those are 2 examples of teams that went from being bad on the offensive line to winning playoff games, in part because the offensive line was good enough to do so. It's not as daunting as you would think it is. Now, to also get a star receiver, to also get an above-average quarterback, there's a lot of other things that the Browns need to do too.
Would you consider, if you're the Browns, and again, we don't know, to me right now, Shedeur Sanders is the starter at the moment. We'll see. I don't even know if that's true, but that's how I look at it. But what do you think about some of these, them potentially drafting a quarterback at 24 or in the 2nd or 3rd round, and maybe there's some sort of competition? Is there anybody you like in those spots?
Well, look, there are going to be guys that you can get, I would call it, value on because of how this past year went. I don't know where Drew Aller is going to get drafted, but maybe Todd Monken loves him and gets him in the 2nd round and wants to throw him in the mix. A lot of people thought that the Browns might have taken him at 2 last year. Then he played bad and got hurt, double whammy at Penn State. So I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that if they really like somebody, that Andrew Berry and Monken draft the kid 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. I do not think it'll be the 1st round, but 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round to get somebody else in the mix that they like and feel like they can get value on. Kind of like they got value on Shedeur Sanders. I mean, by any measure, Shedeur Sanders was a really good 5th round pick.
That is true. I think we agree there. Ross, great stuff as always, man. Everybody, give us the website again for the Valentine.
Oh, yeah. You're going to get one for your wife. You don't even remember it already. It's myfrontpagestory.com. Write it down. Pull your phone out and just go to the web browser right now. I'm going to get one for my wife, and then you don't even remember it. myfrontpagestory.com. Mike Lucas already got one for all 4 of his girlfriends.
Good.
myfrontpagestory.com. myfrontpagestory.com.
Thanks, Ross. We'll talk to you soon. That was good.
It's on the bottom of the screen. It'll be in the link of the clip, too. Ross, you're the best. Thanks so much, man. We'll talk to you soon.
That was good. That is a cool gift.
Yeah.
That is something cool. It's very unique.
You know, I tell him like this, man. Bull, he got you. He said, no, you write that down.
Yeah,
Bring
I
that
did
back
forget
up.
the name of it. I did. But I knew I could look it up later. I knew it wouldn't be that hard.
It'll
But-
be on the bottom of the screen there.
Yeah.
And you could go. We'll put it in the link
All
in
right.
the YouTube description. So
All
you
right,
can
Mike.
find it there.
We've got about 10 minutes before we go over to WKYC.
Yeah, and we got some super chats.
chats?
Guys. Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh,
Rita's.
I'm sure I got
I don't
just
know
a
if
little
you're
bit
like
of
some-
hate.
How many we got?
It doesn't give you a number, but it's at least like 7 scrolls. It's
All
a
right,
lot.
come on.
7. Dang.
Let's get to it then.
7
We're gonna read
scrolls.
as many as we can. James
Let's hear
May
how
says,
awful I am. I'm a racist. I'm a
listen,
hater.
some of these
I'm
you're not going to
evil.
like, but it's
Go ahead.
okay.
Yeah.
We read as many as we can.
Yeah.
James May says, how much PTO does Jay Crawford get? He's
None of anybody's business.
He's only on Mondays.
He's only on Mondays right
Jay's
now.
doing.
so,
Jay's.
yeah.
You know.
He's got a full-time job upstairs.
Jay's got a full-time job upstairs. He's going towards retirement in a little while. Don't give him a hard time.
He's also just on Mondays, and we
Yeah.
had a remote show Monday.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he was doing snow duty.
Other than that, unlimited. Just so you
Yes.
know.
Our
Unlimited.
good friend Miss Bell's back. Miss Bell says, God's plan wins every time, like it or not. Had to tune in to see who is still alive. G. Bush, thanks for the Monken insight. No hearsay at all. You just spit facts.
Shout out to Todd Monken and what his playbook's about to look like, man. Shout out to Miss Bell, by the way, too.
Dawson Lowe says, glad to see Bull smile about Todd. Adam the Glazer's back. M. Rick Secker says, how much transparency will we get with Monken, Jason?
I didn't know him well when he was here the first time.
Yeah. Can't be less than Kevin.
He thought Freddie was incompetent, so we have that in common.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we'll hit it off all right. But no, he's if you listen to he did a podcast, I think, while he was in Baltimore. He's pretty blunt.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
He seems pretty forward. Davey Davis says, let's lighten the mood a little bit. G. Bush, does Cam Newton advise you on your daily wardrobe?
Nah, Cam, not really. Shout out to Cam though.
He's one of one, Cam.
His is a little more eclectic. You know what I'm saying? His hats is crazy though too.
Yeah.
But I don't really. Shout out to Cam though.
Phil's Trouble says the Browns are letting you know by them sending the video of Shedeur and Monken everywhere.
Yep. Let him know.
They throwing it out there.
Wrong team.
Topo says Browns need Jesus on offense. Maybe Schwartz would have found the right OC, but what if the guy does well and leaves in 2 to 3 years? We're back to square one.
We can't worry about that. We trying to get some wins now.
Jesus Sanchez from the Braves.
Jesus.
Could be Jesus.
Mr. In My Zone says, I'm praying for G. Bush right now.
God is always with me. Jesus is here right now in the room.
Digital Mafia says, Acho level takes, anybody but Shedeur.
Nobody
Jay
said that.
Earl says, with the Olympics coming up, if household chores were a sport, which one would you medal in?
Household chores, man. This is decorating. Like I have my paintings would be off the chart. Like, you know what I'm saying? My setup in my house would be crazy.
Dishwashers.
I'm a good dishwasher. I like doing.
The kids are supposed to do it at our
Yeah.
house, but it always seems to wind up being me.
I actually sometimes I like washing the dishes. It just gives me
My brother-in-law's
I
like
actually
that.
agree.
yeah. I kind of like it sometimes.
Next one, Original Video says, why put the video of 12 with Monken if he's not QB1? That'd be weird. Also, message to Jason, 12 had a Pro Bowl year. Put some respect on his name.
Respect the gangster.
Yeah, Jason.
Daniel
you
F.
was here
Todd.
when we did. They talked about the. No, you weren't here.
No, I was not here.
Daniel F. Todd says, it's funny. Jameis won 2 of 7 games. Shedeur won 3. Now numbers don't matter when it doesn't fit your narrative, Bolt. Got it.
Okay.
It's all good, y'all. G. Bush, make sure you get Jason a fresh urban Cavs fit now that we know he's a friend of the culture, and Bull a Guardians fit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on. Like Bull got a he got one jersey. I need to get him something more. I gotta get him like a jacket and a fly joint and a fly hat and a fitted.
What one jersey? I don't even have a jersey.
You got one Guardians jersey, but it don't got a name on the back.
Oh yeah, I got a Guardian. I thought you meant Browns.
No.
I have a Browns T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like I've been thinking about this whole show. We have got to go shopping together.
Yeah, like
you
and then-
dress me up and I dress you up.
Like it's no. Listen, this gonna and then we gonna put.
Do you have any white people clothes?
Yeah, bro, I got half my clothes.
you worked in-
I worked in corporate where it was slacks, business casual.
You got to come in.
I will
one day
gladly
with-
come
camera for
along.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll bring a
That
camera
would
for
be
that.
fun.
You got to go like
We've talked about doing that forever.
khakis and a polo.
Yeah, that's easy. I could go preppy all week.
Yeah.
I go Ralph Lauren the
Pull
whole
that
week
off.
next week.
All right, the power of I am says Shedeur's stats reflect Stefanski's system. How do I know? Both Shedeur and the man who drafted him are still employed. Any guess who got fired? Brody's bottom line says, welcome back, Jason and Bull, for hating. Can't wait, so keep that energy. Bull, you're not even a Browns fan. You're full of cap.
Full of it, Bull. You're full of cap.
8 Main says this was 2 versus 1. They attacked G. That's just wrong.
I mean, I just sat here and listened.
It was.
Honestly, Jason said nothing. I forgot he was on the show for that whole. No offense, Jason.
That's cool.
I was enamored.
There's no attack. We argue and go back and forth all the time.
Don't you argue with your friends?
That's part of the game.
Don't people at home ever argue with their friends about sports?
I mean, we argue with my brothers, argue with everybody. It's part of the,
I don't know what.
I always tell people
You know.
that's part for the. This is what makes the show that good because nobody else anywhere on the internet is going to argue with nobody with that level of veracity about something without they acting weird. Like we do it every single day. It's normal.
And then laughed it up after.
It's normal.
Michael Sokoto says, on a team that had no weapons and a bad line, it can be argued that Dylan actually played smarter football by utilizing the checkdowns.
Dylan Gabriel sucks.
Sean Kruta says, Krispy Kreme calling G. Bush to borrow some of the glaze he's putting on Shedeur. Glad at least I have Burrow to root for. Go Bengals. Miss Pink says, Bull uses stats, wins, losses to fit his narrative, but when it's wrong, it's wrong and some of his consistent,
No,
it uses
Bull-
just pure judgment.
Bull-
Stop changing people's words, Bull.
Bull has never used wins and losses to defend an argument. Ever.
Never.
James May says, Bull, to be fair, at one point the entire NFL thought Sam Darnold was trash. Sometimes the right development and patience goes far.
So you got to wait 8 years now to get a return.
Yes.
No. Just
Is
2026.
he talking about with Dylan Gabriel?
Just 2026.
I didn't say Shedeur was trash. I said he didn't
Brody's
have a good
bottom
season.
line says, Bull and Jason, you never said anything about Winston, but now you want to sign him. Hashtag anyone but
nobody
Shedeur.
wants to sign
Nobody's
Jameis
listening.
Winston.
Nobody's listening.
Nobody wants to sign Jameis Winston.
My Mech says Josh Allen's rookie year stats: 12 games, 2,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 12 picks. The point is, you cannot make out the exact feature of a rookie. You need to develop them. All players need development.
So then why didn't they develop Deshaun Kaiser? Honestly. If all I got to do is pick a young quarterback and build around him, why didn't they hang in with Deshaun Kaiser?
Josh Allen didn't have a good rookie season. I wouldn't have said he had a good rookie season either.
Here's what I'll say. Hey, listen, it's 8 months to the next game.
Yeah.
We will see within the next 8 months what they feel about Shedeur.
That's right. We'll find out.
All right, watch us on WKYC and WKYC Plus in 3 minutes and 15 seconds. We'll see you there.
Bow, bow.
Peace.